Okay, so picking up where we left off from my last video, which was a breakdown of all the things that I knew I was doing wrong, essentially, from the club race at FRCC. Track layout's the same. This time we are going to be running with a much more competitive group of racers in the Pro E-buggy class and Open E-truggy class. There's no Pro E-truggy, so that was going to be the fastest group that they offered at this particular event. So we learned a lot. We made a lot of progress in both vehicles, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. So here we go.
Living in a daydream, ooh, such a sweet thing. Life on the big screen, it's such a beautiful scene, yeah. Living in a daydream, ooh, such a sweet thing. Life on the big screen, it's such a beautiful scene, yeah. Meet me on the rooftop. Now pass me the ox on the jukebox. Man, we can make a bop like Hanson. Try to throw a party in the mansion. Strolling through the sky. I'm daydreaming all the time. Throw your caution to the wind. This is where it all begins, yeah. I'm over the moon, and that's where I'm taking you to. Feel like it's Christmas in June. Celebrate everything new. Waiting on me, but I'm hitting the snooze. I'm floating on top in this hot air balloon. Won't you come to my world where I'm making the rules? Yeah, it's pretty magical. Living in a daydream. Ooh, it's such a sweet thing. Sweet thing. Life on the big screen. It's such a beautiful scene, yeah. That's right. Living in a daydream. Ooh, it's such a sweet thing. Sweet thing. Life on the big screen. It's such a beautiful scene. Living in a daydream. Living in a daydream. Yeah. Living in a daydream. Living in a daydream.
Okay, let's start with E-buggy. First thing I want to talk about is the change for the steering hub and knuckle assembly. We also tried an additional part, the steering plate, and I'll talk about more of that in a second. This particular car, in its stock form, the C-hub is straight up and down. The new one is incline, so everything is at an angle. Well, both of them are going to be angled, obviously. This gave the car a much more predictable and desired feel with corner entry, mid-corner, and exit. Kind of made that whole motion a little bit more fluid and connected, not so herky-jerky when it came in and then it would just hitch and pivot almost whenever it felt like it, and then you kind of had to hang on to it and hope that you had enough talent to drive it through the corner. This part smooths everything out, makes it really nice. Minor drawback is that if you run the hub, knuckle, and steering plate in conjunction with each other and you don't change anything else, the car is going to lose a lot of initial steer that I kind of tried to gain back just a little bit so that I could have that smooth steer through the corner, but give myself something a little bit to help me with that initial steer. How did we do that? Well, the first thing that we played around with, thanks to Shane, he sent me his setup and gave me some comments after I had mentioned these hubs. He went from the B plate, which is the optional steering plate, back to the A steering plate. It looks like it's a little bit different in location. I don't know if it's essentially shorter per se, but it definitely moves it. This gave me a little bit more of an initial steering feel, and I liked it. So if you're an initial steer guy and you like lots of steering, that's the way to go. The only other thing that we tried up front was a sway bar change. The track in general was increasing in grip all day on practice, and then we were anticipating it doing the same on Saturday with mostly sunny forecast in the future. We went from a 2.3 sway bar up to a 2.4. Now you'd think that that isn't a gigantic change, probably a welcome change with the anticipation of grip, but it really destroyed a lot of the steering overall that the car had before. So going from the 2.4, I went back to the 2.3, and it felt largely where I want the front end to be. I think that if I had to rate it, I'd say that I'm about 92% satisfied with the front end of the vehicle as it sits. Not sure what else I'm going to try, but there's definitely a little bit more steering that I think I'm going to look for. Moving to the back of the vehicle, like I mentioned in the front, we were trying out heavier sway bars. We did the same in the rear, and it was actually a good change. We went from a 2.5 up to a 2.6. It gave the car a nice stability, and we didn't lose any of its racy feel in the slower technical sections. The other thing that we tried to kind of calm the car down if the grip was going to be too high for us to hold on to, we went all the way down on the inner link location. I thought that this would give the car a little bit more I could push it harder going into corners and keep it flatter. But overall, the car just became really numb and it lost a little bit of its racy feel, I guess is the best way I could describe it. So we went back to 1 from the bottom on this particular car setup, etc. Overall, the car massively improved from the last racing experience that we had with it. I think that there is a shock package that I want to try. I think most of the TLR team drivers are using. I'm just using the kit pistons, which I believe are 5 holes, and they're 1.4s in the front and 1.4s in the rear, tapered. I think that a lot of the guys are using a flat piston up front, a 5-hole with like a 6th smaller one drilled into it, and then a tapered 5-hole with a 1-hole smaller drilled into it. I don't have the parts to do it, so it was something that I couldn't test even if I wanted to, but I believe it's going to be something that I will try and just see how it feels. Other than that, I was really happy that we made a lot of progress with the car. I think that my hot lap at the club race before was something in like the mid or low 36-second range. The track didn't change much. The layout was exactly the same. The grip level was very similar. And I believe that my hot lap on race day was a low 34-second lap time. So right around 2-second increase, and it was definitely like an average increase by the time my mains rolled around. So I was really pumped on that. I was pretty proud of it that I was able to get that much improvement in the car and myself. Highlight of the race weekend was definitely my B-main. I'll go ahead and let you guys jump into that in a second. We were running in the Pro E-buggy class, like I said, and we were looking for a spot in the A-main. So we'll jump into it and see how it goes.
Holds it wide open. Marshall trying to get to him. Drivers ready. Less than 5. Pro E-buggy B-main. Ryan Harris lead him off from pole in the low seat. Nico Parra. Oh, Nico swinging wide. Gonna drop the fourth. Oh, Carlos with that tire change now has all the grip. Remember guys, 5-minute race, 5-minute race. Remember to rest your nerves. So lead him around lap number 1 will be Ryan Harris. Down the straightaway he goes. 34 is on the lap. Nico Parra, the 2, Ben Bertle, does 4, Carlos 5, and Eduardo 6. As we follow along with Ryan Harris, yellow and red. Coming over the front double now. Got that low seat looking really good out there. Nico Parra in the number 2, in the HP. You got Ben Bertle in the unit in the number 3. Nico and Ben Dyson open over that left-hand double. Oh, Ben trying to cut the corner.
Is Ryan Styles Harris. He is currently looking to bump up to that B-main. He has 3 minutes and 43 seconds, but he has a rear view mirror full of the young Nico Parra, who says he is now the number 1 Colombian driver here in South Florida. Not Juan Jose Serna, but Juan Jose Serna just purchased my loyalty by buying me a nice cold lemonade.
130 down, 330 to go, guys. 130 down, 330 to go. Last time by the line, Harris was only 1.5 up on Parra, now 1.8. So Nico keeping tabs on Ryan. Ben Bertle in the number 3.
There we are on board with the yellow and red, fire red car of Ryan Styles Harris, YouTube sensation, making a small climb out of retire. I wouldn't say he was retired, but wasn't doing as much RC. Definitely hadn't done any 8 scale for a while, so he did a very nice, cool video about coming to this race and what he had to do. Right now, it's showing that his running the warm-up race last week has definitely helped him as he comes by with a 34.6. Nico Parra answered that with a 34.7. He's now 1.8 seconds back. So
On his way. Johnson going to get it wrong, so that's going to give the breathing room back to Ben.
running that HB car, did that 180. He is definitely on pace, trying to chase down Ryan Harris. Oh, and Parra gets it wrong. And he is going to lose some pressure time. You see his father running out there to help him.
Garcia in the 6. We're at 3 down 2 go, guys. This is race number 10 on the track. Race number 11. You guys are up next. Ryan Harris in the low seat, looking beautiful out there. Nice and smooth. His car's absorbing everything. Nico Parra got his HP looking pretty good in the number 2 spot. Ben Bertle, Jonathan Hernandez, 3 and 4, making their way on the left-hand side of the track. Harris just turned the fastest lap of the race at a 34.6.
One minute left.
1 minute to go, guys. Just 1 minute left here. And the B-main of Pro E-buggy. It is Harris, Parra, Hernandez, Bertle, Gonzalez.
45 seconds left.
With the Harris and Parra.
4 seconds
Good
left.
to the A-main. They just got to keep it running. Hernandez holding on to the number 3. Bertle with the 4. Gonzalez in the 5.
15 seconds left.
Ryan Harris just turned his another fast lap of the race, 34.4. With 10 seconds to go. Ryan and Nico are on their final lap. Let's see if Hernandez can...
So with 2 seconds left to go, we're going to see Ryan Styles Harris, who is ready to bump up. As you see, we're going to go out and get an interview with RSH. Find out if he has found what he's looking for in his car. He's the only one doing that. Jumping over to that double. I need to ask him about that line. And I will be back. I'm going to go have an interview with Ryan Styles Harris. I am here with Ryan Styles Harris. Look, I was watching your video prior to coming out here. You was looking for some stuff out of your car. Have you found what you're looking for?
Yes, limitation is definitely the driver, but we're learning a lot about the car. Not to get too technical, but put some optional front end parts on there for a steering knuckle. Feels really good. A lot better through the corners. Still not as fast as some of the guys out there, but we're making some good pace.
I've been watching. You have a line coming up over here on the Crooked Dragon's back, I'm calling it. You jump completely over doing that hill double. I'm not really seeing anybody else doing it. I talked about it. What gave you the courage to do that line? Because I'm not seeing much people do it.
On practice yesterday, I'm not going to lie, I saw Tyler Hooks and J.R. Mitch do it. So I was like, ooh, okay, maybe I could be fast like those guys. So when you do it, it's actually a lot easier after you do it a couple times. And I noticed that it was easily 3-4 tenths faster if you did it. So it's kind of like a high risk, high reward kind of thing. So figure we maybe pull it out for the main.
Well, good stuff. Congratulations on the bump. Good to see you out here racing with us, and good luck in your A finals.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Right, that's Ryan Styles Harris. He bumps up to the Pro E-buggy E-main, and we're going to get back to some action with you guys on the track.
So there you go. Not bad for little old Ryan. I think the coolest part of that was that the consistency on that race was 99%. Not very often that I run a 99% consistency, so I was really pumped on that. The car was much better, I went a lot faster, and it was consistent and pretty easy to drive. So we're going to continue to work on this thing, try and find a little bit more speed in it. I think with the shock package and some tweaks in the front end to get a little bit more steering, and I'll have it right about where I want it. So Let's jump into the E-truggy, shall we? Starting up front, I know that I went to a lower inner link position. I didn't really like it. I felt like the truck dove really fast, and then it would initiate like a steer and kind of like a hitching characteristic at the wrong time. So we went back to where it was before in the setup sheet I have down below. What I had mentioned previously, we'll move to the back here, that we wanted to try out these Techno orange rated truggy springs. They seem to work really good. The truck kind of reaches a moment of support a little bit quicker, and then it holds it there. I feel like that's the biggest difference between the kit spring and this one, is that it has that moment of resistance a lot quicker and it holds it better. I don't know if that's ultimately better, but we definitely went faster this weekend, and I think that it was a welcomed change. We didn't mess with sway bars on the truck. Kind of was in the mindset of, if it's working good enough, I don't want to change a bunch of stuff. So maybe on a day where it's another club race or a practice day, I could play with some sway bars and kind of go crazy with it. But we were in the mode of, if it's working, I don't really want to mess with it. So that's kind of the mindset that we had. The other change that I talked about was my overall lack of power that I have with this truck right now. It's running a 1900 kV motor, which is for a buggy, and then I was switching it to this battery instead of the one that I was running previous weekend. I might be going crazy, but I think that the power delivery was actually a little bit better, and the handling of the truck seemed to be overall a little bit better as well. Having that battery a little bit more evenly distributed and lower, it definitely felt better. The only other thing that I can touch on that I tried that was different, this being a brand new truck, like I had mentioned last time, that was my first day racing it ever. I only had one type of tire from Raw Speed, and that was the Super Minis. They seemed to be pretty good. They didn't have like any weird characteristics about them, but they seemed to be a little bit on the less reactive side. So the truck was very mellow and easy to drive, which in some cases is very good. But for this particular track on the weekend that we were racing it, having a tire with a little bit more edginess to them, or a little bit more bite to get that exit out of the corners or hold in the mid corner, we ran the Mach 1s, and they were really good. They were like really good. I went from not seeing the truck do any sort of front tire lifts at all to, oh my gosh, we're lifting the front tires almost everywhere. So I was worried we were going to start doing wheelies all of a sudden, but it seemed to be a pretty good balance, and we never flipped the truck over backwards. After qualifying, we put ourselves straight into the A-main, so we didn't have to bump out of the B like we did in the buggy. So probably A1 was our more exciting race, because we had a nice little battle there with Nolan for quite a bit. Ultimately, he was significantly faster than me. This is his home track, and his truck is super dialed in. Without saying anything else, we'll go ahead and jump into that main, and then we'll come back and wrap this puppy up.
All right, here we go. Racers ready. Marshall's ready. Everybody's going to go on the tone here in less than 5. It's going to be Patrick Ross leading the way here in open E-truggy A-main number 1. Brought closely here by Nolan Manchester. Oh, Manchester, all beating and banging, slamming and framming into the pipe. Flipping upside down, one upside down on the lead right to be Marshall. So this is the 8-minute A1 final. Patrick Rossiter trying to open up a gap here on Manchester. John Escort versus Tech, Team Associated right now. Gabriel Santiago into number 3 spot. Keeping tabs on both of them. Carlos Gonzalez right there into number 4 as well. Here they come down the front straightaway. Lap number 1 in the book. Oh, that's all right. There's stop right across the lap. Easy over there, guys. Easy. You guys beat the slamming under one another now. Easy. 1 minute down, 7 minutes left to go. Patrick Rossler, Nolan Manchester, Carlos Gonzalez, Ryan Harris. Up to the number 4 spot now. Gabriel into number 3. Hairstyle to the number 3. Gabriel down to the 4. So Ryan Harris on the move. Going to set his eyes here on Carlos Gonzalez.
All around, dude.
Carlos Gonzalez closing in on the backside here. Jake Concept's teammate, Patrick Rossiter, as he works the left-hand side of the track. Up to the top of the hill to go. On step off. Patrick Rossiter coming down that front straightaway. Carlos Gonzalez.
Oh, sorry, Nolan.
1.4 seconds back. Santiago up to the number 3 now. Harris working to number 4. 1.5 seconds back. Bubba Manchester into number 5 on the backside of Ryan Harris. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, man, parking step for Santiago. He's almost holding it upside down. It'll have to be marshaled. Oh, no, something broke. Oh, unfortunate break there for Santiago in the number 3 spot. He'll be back for E-main number 2. Ryan Harris out to that number 3. Nolan Manchester 4. Ben Myrtle up to the 5. You got 220 down, 540 left to go. Patrick Rossiter and Carlos Gonzalez right now running 1 and 2.
Sorry, Nolan. You're so much faster down the straightaway. Oh, you're good. Ah.
Ryan Harris got a lot of pressure here from Nolan Manchester. Nolan's trying to force his way in through the corner, not able to pull it off. Nolan's keeping a lot of pressure on the backside of Harris. In the middle section of the track right here at the tabletop. Looks like a little bit of a bobble there for Manchester. It's Rossiter and Gonzalez really battling it out now for that number 1 and 2. Rossiter coming up off the light track here in just a little bit. To the short team for your race leader, second place right there behind me. Your race leader running the white and green. White wheels, white wings. So they come on the left-hand side of the track, now the front straightaway to go. 430 left to go, 430 main. Patrick Rossiter, Carlos Gonzalez 1 and 2, Harris 3. Manchester working the 4, Sean Krause now up to that number 5 spot. Krause right now 2 seconds back to the 4. Coming up on the backside of some last traffic here for our race leader. Through the hairpin he goes. Goes a little wide. Second place right there as well. Through the tabletop. Red and green. There's last traffic. Started right there for the red and green. Marshall. Here he comes down the front straightaway. Gonzalez all over the backside here of Patrick Rossiter. Carlos putting a lot of pressure on him here. Oh, a little hot through the jump there in the double in the back for Gonzalez. Coming up on the backside from the last side with 1 over less than 3. 1, 2 very close together, only separated here by just over a second with 3:30 left to go. Carlos with a little bit of a bobble now. Freedom rim here for Rossiter. The 3:30 left to go.
Oh no.
Rossiter, Gonzalez, Harris, Manchester, Krause. Here's on 5. Ben Myrtle working at number 6. 4.3 seconds back into 5. Carlos CU into number 7. 1.7 seconds back into 6. John Tate in the 8. Danny Balls in the 9. Dave McConey in at number 10. And Freddie in 11. Now right now put at number 3, 4, and 5 between Manchester, Harris, and Krause. Going at it. 5:30 down, 2:30 left to go. Left-hand side of the track here. They jump back across start finish line. And Bryce now with a 6-second lead up on the field. Sean Krause followed the backside of Nolan Manchester for the number 3. Onto the top right-hand side of the track. A little bit of a bounce there for Manchester. Oh, problems there for Gonzalez. Oh, now we have a new second place running truck. It's going to be Nolan Manchester down to the number 2. Gonzalez. Oh, gets it over to Nolan. And through the middle of them they go there for Ryan Harris. Oh, they're battling out now. Easy now, guys. Race car, race clean. Now race car, race clean. Oh, man, that's the second time I think Gonzalez hit that same mistake. He's really going to find it this time. As he's going to have to be Marshall going to lose that bunch of positions. Nolan Manchester down to that number 2. Ryan Harris in that number 3, side background, working for Carlos Gonzalez in the top. Ben Myrtle now getting in on the action. He's only 2 seconds back from that battle. Onto the right-hand side of the track. Oh, rolling over in the corner there. He and Gonzalez get all tied up as they come down the hill. Couple of cars stuck upside down. now solidly in that number 3. Let's go out Manchester in that number 2. 16 seconds back to the race lead for Manchester. 1:20 left to go. 1:20 remaining. Race 17 out on the track. Race number 19. 18 coming up next. Ken Burtle going to be moving up into the top 5 here. Ken Burtle now up to the number 4 spot. Carlos Gonzalez in the 5. Burtle trying to hold off the charge here right there behind him.
1 minute left.
Carlos Stevie in the number 6 spot. 2 seconds back behind Gonzalez. Looks like Freddie missed the lap to get that added in here. I just caught that. And go to the left added back in for him. Looks like he's lap traffic right now. Mixed up in all and all that stuff. Oh, on the wrong side of the pipe there for Gonzalez.
See, I would have rolled that. I would have made that
30 seconds left to go. 30 seconds remaining. 7:30 down. 30 seconds remaining.
30 seconds left.
Matthew Ross push on the first line now. 14 seconds on the field. Nolan Manchester just ran his fast lap race at a 33.7. That is going to allow Ryan Harris now to slip past Ben Burtle into number 4. Carlos Stevie in the 5.
15 seconds
And
left.
Carlos Gonzalez in the 6 car. Kraus looks like he might be pulling his off.
Oh, he was generous.
Race clock has now expired. Race it back to the line, guys. It's going to be done. It's going to be Patrick Ross that are taking the win as he works the left hand side of the track for the final time here in that number 1, race 17. Race 18 up
Patrick
next.
Rosser is done.
And there we go, guys. Ross are going to do it. He's going to take the win. Manchester with a great run. Going to come off in that number 2 spot. Ryan Harris picking up some spots. Going to finish up in that number 3. Ben Burtle coming home in the 4. Carlos Gonzalez rounding out the field in the top 5.
Nolan Manchester done.
It's all about
Ryan
jumping on.
Harris.
Ryan Harris done.
There we go, guys. John Tate going to come up with 7. That's the race, guys. Everybody is
Didn't really have any expectations there, so to be able to sneak in a nice little podium finish, that was pretty cool. As for the E-buggy, running with those guys, they were super fast, and I am nowhere near the level of development in my personal skill or race program. These guys are going to the big race time events, and they are super dialed in and super fast. So who knows how much faster we'll get in the future, but I'm looking forward to continuing to progress my 8-scale program and hopefully run some more of these FRCC events. If you guys wanted to run one of these events, I've linked his information for his racing series down below. Feel free to check it out. Whenever he opens up signups, these sell out really fast. So if you're on the fence about it, be decisive. Jump in there. Do it. You'll have fun. Huge shout out to Lance and his whole program. Those guys did phenomenal, getting us in and out in a day to run that big of a race and give us all AA mains in the electric classes. It was one of the best race programs that I've seen. So I truly can't speak highly enough about them. So thank you guys for all of your hard work if you're watching this. And thank you to Rich and everybody at EpicRC for dumping all of the prep that you did into getting this track ready for us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so that's it for our A-scale FRCC adventure. Going to be doing some 10-scale stuff here in probably the next video or few. So looking forward to that. Keep an eye out for that. And that's it for this one. So thanks you guys for watching. We'll see you next time. Gonna go smoke a cigar now.